whatever it is, how you spending his money?
That's what people do. So that's like somebody telling me, oh yeah, you listen to Dave Ramsey every day. You know,
if I did,
to give me.
I guess my point is, if he didn't listen to Susie Orman or Dave Ramsey or any financial anybody, and he had the money, how are you in his pocket?
That's just how people are.
It is how people are, and people think it's okay because we are conditioned that family, without regard to how they behave, just like celebrity, without regard to how they behave, you gotta enable it.
You just get a free pass. You have to do whatever.
Yeah. You get a free pass. Everything goes.
That's how money come in.
And it's like he said, culturally, if somebody is robbing a bank or mass murdering and they come and knock on your door and ask for help, culturally, they're supposed to help them.
Right. He did say that.
They are.
Yeah.
And they do. So they often, not often do. You know, some people don't. It's exception to every rule. But yeah, like, nah, I'm going to need you to be good to me. There are conditions on that unconditional shit. Because what if you become a different human being that I can't handle? I didn't marry that human being. You know what I mean? I'm speaking for you and anybody else. Like if I become just the opposite of what you would have ever married. Now, going through the journey of what took me there and being patient with that is one thing. But if someone is just displaying all the behaviors of everything that you don't stand for, man. And I'm not talking about relationships now. I'm talking about even just family. You know what I mean? And y'all are adult age, like with Kirk and his son. Oh, guess what? Guess what? I'm responsible for you as a parent by choice now. You 30. I could decide I'm not your daddy today. If I want to. You might want to chill.
So if I was to ask a preacher or whatever, if Satan came to my door and I knew it was Satan, felt it was Satan, all that, and Satan asked to help, come in, I need some water.
That's a good fucking question for them.
Am I supposed to help, or am I not? Or do I not have the ability to identify Satan, even though y'all tell me every day Satan has different forms?
That's a good fucking question for. Should you help Satan if he come to you for help? That's a good fucking question. Somebody else came up with something, and I was like, boy, I was enough trouble in Sunday school. They better be glad I didn't have this one in my back pocket in Sunday school. But it said the people in the Bible, it said none of the people in the Bible had a Bible. And I was like, yeah. Oh, I'm surprised I didn't have that in my back pocket as a kid. I'm surprised I didn't think of that one. I thought everything else, though. Yeah. What was they living by? Something they heard that a nigga 2 continents over said that they don't even have telephones yet. Who'd you hear that from? Where you hear about his miracles from? Where they do that at? Yeah, on the scroll. The scroll didn't get wet or nothing, huh?
You can make it 1,500 miles east.
Yeah, okay.
You make it to the concrete scroll, you see.
You'll go viral? That's how you go viral? Uh-huh. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that's what thing is like, okay, if God was, making contact with people back then, okay.
Well, you say that shit now, people think you crazy. So why is it that people thought they crazy? So somebody said, oh, voice in the sky came and told me to do some shit. Cause I'm like right now, look, we fuck people, we fuck bitches up that kill all their kids and say God told them to do it. But then back then, you say God tell you to kill your firstborn, you go put him on the altar and kill that motherfucker, that's okay? If that's the case, how do you know that God didn't tell Mary to go kill that bastard she finna have for something that she's supposed to be a virgin? She knows she wouldn't fuck somebody. You need to kill that motherfucker. How do we know Mary didn't say, nah, God, I'm good. I'm gonna go ahead and have this one. And then he came out to be this whole She spreaded the rumor that he was the immaculate one because she didn't want to go down as a hoe that slept out on her husband and had a baby out of wedlock that she had no business. What if she started the whole Jesus rumor and now we got a whole ass Bible on how to live based on her discrepancies as a thought, a savage, wop thought ass hoe. And that's just speculation. I'm not being blasphemous by any means. I'm just speculating some stuff.
Elaborating on that a little bit is the same theory is how when people try to explain all the wrongness, the evil, the unjust things that happen in the world.
Yeah.
And if God don't make mistakes, God that, then it just comes to, well, you don't understand God's plight.
Right.
So that bleeds over, and that's pretty much what humans do. Cults, governments, whatever. And then they do this shit, and it's wrong, and people say something, and then they just like,
yeah,
well,
yeah,
you just don't understand.
Yeah.
There's bigger, blah, blah, blah. And
yeah, it's all bullshit.
They try to break the shit down. None of this shit makes sense.
Yeah.
It don't make sense.
Yeah, it's like, what's even real?
If it don't make sense from God to human, okay, I can deal with that.
Right.
But from human to human, shit should be
like, what the fuck? Right.
What the fuck?
Right. Communicate that shit to me.
Right. And if you supposed to be so close to God, closer to anybody else, you
yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
You don't have no answer from me.
Yeah.
Besides, don't worry about that, or don't question God, or don't.
Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah.
You don't have my answers. Like
Next. Because it's gonna be another one.
Right.
Next.
I was when I was younger. I was like, okay, next.
Next.
Okay, I realized nobody has these answers.
Did not nobody want me in their Sunday school class.
Alone. All alone.
And yet they did.
And then,
because the goddess in them wanted to know the truth. Low key. Yeah.
The way the Bible begins is bullshit.
Yeah, the way it begins. It starts off with some bullshit.
And then the earth.
Yeah.
Where did it come from?
We just gonna start with the creation, huh? Throw it on out there.
I'm the type of person, I need to know where it came from. I need to know where did God from. Who's God's people? Where's God? Who's the God's descendant of?
What was even the process by which Adam and Eve learned to communicate with each other to even know they was horny and wanted to fucking make a baby? Like, how did they even communicate that to each other?
Why would you even set them up if you love them so much? Why would you even set them up to where if they did something wrong, it's so catastrophic that it's gonna...
You basically set them up to fail.
Oh, no, and not just them. They're gonna fuck the whole future.
You basically set them. You basically set that whole species up to fail.
Based on two people that we got nothing to do with.
So does he love us or does he hate us?
Right. Oh no, you just don't understand.
Oh, okay. You're right. I will admit that. That's something I can admit that you can't. I don't understand.
I understand the people. I believe there's a God, but my God,
yeah,
ain't all about this fucking.
That's bullshit. Right.
My God ain't.
This fucking bullshit in that order.
Yeah.
My God is not about this fucking bullshit.
You fucking just took, and if it was God's word, y'all took it and just
bastardized it
and spread it like wildfire.
But that's how it works. They take the truth and they lace it with they take their lies and they lace it with those partial truths, so those lies will be easier to take, and they are. Hence cognitive dissonance.
Laws, so we did this, so we're gonna make some laws and change some laws so we can win next time. Or we're gonna make some laws so these people can't vote. We're gonna make some and that's just normal business. How is that not ethically wrong? And even when people call it out, it's just so normal now, everything's just normal.
Yeah. I have such an understanding of why they call it quote unquote free thinking now.
Yeah. And I understand the magnitude
of cognitive dissonance.
Well, I was going to say of why they was, the other countries still trying to not have social media and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, the circle.
Yeah.
The circle let you know what the benefits and downfalls of that. And I think the people that did those movies, that participated, like the cast, like I think Tom Hanks now knows some shit about what's coming and what's happening that he didn't know before. Because Tom Hanks been quiet than a motherfucker since he did that movie. Hermione, quiet than a motherfucker since they did that movie. Like, them people did that movie. I'm not saying they retired. They're going to do some more shit. But it's like they got real quiet everywhere. Like, they almost didn't want no social media their own self no more after that movie. They was like, you know what? I'm going to chill for a little while on my little Instagram and I'm going to chill. Because this movie taught me some shit about what we in for. And y'all don't even know. I can't tell you. But it's inevitable at the end of the day. And that had narratives because they wanted you, they set it up to make it seem like she had all the invasive ideas. You know what I mean? The movie didn't even want you to realize to direct that responsibility to the right people.
What they look like is because of the way they are.
Right, the behavior. Yeah.
Like I say, she's obviously very.
And that the girl was, again, like she always is, she was the ringleader yesterday.
Yeah.
Becky is going to be a problem, honey.
She don't mind speaking to me.
Oh, she spoke to you?
Yeah, one time she was out there hiding over there in the yard while I'm trying to cut the grass, and I told her to move. I told him to move, the boys to move, because I don't want them to get hurt. I said, so y'all can stay over there. And, you know, you tell kids not to do something, what they do. Flirt on the edge.
Rebecca. I just look at her and I see what I see the same thing I see when you think of teenage boys growing up. When you think these little thugs gonna terrorize the neighborhood when they become teenagers.
Yeah.
She's that.
Well,
she's that.
I can take the boys. You can take the girls.
I can't take them. I can't. I can't take that. I can't take that girl for sure.
You know what I mean.
Oh, you talking about dealing with them?
Yeah, you know, if you had to get a little rough and aggressive, I get aggressive, you know. I'm picking
Well,
on
we
little
started our relationship yesterday. How about that?
Becky. Picking on little Becky.
We started
Did she
yesterday.
see you though?
She didn't need to.
I know. I just wondered.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because when I did in the garage, because at first I was like, how am I going to do this? Because she needs somebody I need to start intimidating without her seeing me. So I was cognizant of
I
that.
just wondered.
So when I went out in the garage, I was like, well, I could go and I could just sit in front of the car, lean on the car. You know what I mean? That should do it. I was like, no, because what if she's as aggressive as described and she tried to turn it into a friendly get to know me situation? And so I was cognizant of that. Even if you didn't have that assessment, I know that about little kids like her. So I was like, no. And so I said, because I could also take an opportunity to let that happen and then shut it down. But I didn't want to do it that way. Not with her. Not with her. She's too much. She's a ringleader. And she got 5 motherfuckers behind her. 5. So I said what I'll do is I'll go in. So even if they look and lean down, they will see my motherfucking ankles. And that's intimidating enough because they don't know what my face is looking like. So I actually went out and I stepped down on the top step outside the door and I opened the garage only a third of the way up to the license plates on the cars. So that's when, but they immediately had moved out as soon as as soon as they heard the garage moving, they had moved out already, which was a good sign for me, right? And I was like, and I left it up for a few minutes and I was like, okay, now if she's really, really bad, I'm going to put the garage down and they're going to go right back, right? So I put the garage down. We know she's really, really bad, right? So I put the garage down. They come right back, right, in front of our driveway. I mean, our area again, our yard again. So they come right back. So I put the garage back up. They gone again. So they move every time they hit me, which is, again, a good sign. So they gone again. But this time, I stand right here so that if they look, even if they look in there, if anybody's on the ground and can look in here, they gonna see some angles like this, crossed, like what, you know, my, like arms crossed, but they my ankles. So I'm just like this. Yeah, so then I left it open for a little while. Then they left, right? And then I shut it because I was like, okay, so they get that point. I was like, now if she really, 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 really bad, she gonna come back. But she came back and they were further up toward the stop sign, right? So I said, okay, well, this would be a good time to water that plant in out front. So I got some water and I came out front. But when I came out front, she was already gone. And the little boy, he was laying on the curb anyway, a little bit in our, you know, his upper body was in our yard. It wasn't that much. And so he was laying down. And so when I came out, she was gone already. And so he was on the ground.
Over here?
Yeah. And I had on my hoodie, I had on a mask, and I had on shades. So they couldn't see none of my face. So I came out and watered the thing, but as I watered it, he had done got up, and he had on the hoodie too, so he had his shit over his thing where I couldn't even see his face, and went back over there. So then I came back in. So that's how that went down. That's the play for play on that. I just had a rant about how Kirk Franklin's son probably is the way he is because I was talking about how I said he probably spared the rod and spoiled. So if he held that rod when he was a kid, then I'm gonna hold my tongue about what he got to deal with now. Truth is, the only reason he has to apologize is because he's in the Christian community that he calls his family, because white Jesus brought them together, okay, at the end of the day. And the reality is he probably didn't whoop his son's ass when he was young, because white Jesus got y'all thinking that whooping your kid's ass for being a disrespectful little sociopath is a bad thing, and so you don't discipline the little bastards. And so in order to please this church, he probably didn't whoop the boy's ass when he was young, so he wouldn't have to whoop his ass later. And now he has spared the rod, spoiled that child, and that 33-year-old child is now lashing out in such a way that he will risk the family's whole ass legacy because he can't get his motherfucking way. Are you fucking kidding me? Kidding me, Christianity? Are you fucking kidding me? I guess you're not kidding me, because it's the same religion that go around molesting, raping babies. So bringing the kids to the rapists to be raped. While they out in the pulpit praising the Lord. Okay, I'm gonna chill. No shade to the Christians, I know. I'm sorry. That was just about the actions. Y'all know how it is. So anyway, I turned the camera back on to tell you about the trick to using eye drops. For people who can't see and who have a shitty eyeball aim. You take the tip and touch it to your top, like the underside of your top lash. And then squeeze it, it'll go right in your eye. So you touch the side of the top lash. Then you right in your eye, right? Under the side of your top lash is in your eye. Why didn't you think of that before? You was today years old when you learned that, wasn't you? You're welcome.